and we are live at Lakelands Shopping Centre, and we're with someone who is a volunteer here.
Yes. Hi, my name is Ruthie, and I'm a volunteer with Poops, which is a very strange name, but it stands for Pets of Older Persons. And we have a group of volunteers who will come to somebody's house. If they're older or disabled, we take the dog for a walk and then take the dog back home. Lots of people, their only companion is the little fluffy dog. So they're always very grateful. We are desperate to have people who love dogs but can't have a dog of their own, or even if they do have a dog of their own, to go and volunteer and take a doggy for a walk. It's the most wonderful thing you can do.
Okay. How long have you been doing this for?
Well, my husband and I have been doing this for the past 3 years. And we have 5 different dogs that we take all individually. Some are 3 times a week, some are only once a week, but it's entirely up to you how often you take the dog for a walk. You sort it out with the owner. Might only be once a week or twice a week.
3 years, that's a very long time, huh?
And Ruthie, can you tell us is there any amusing stories you might have when people have taken dogs for the walk?
Well, we've got lots of amusing stories. I can't think of one offhand, but we do have some wonderful little dogs, and the owners are wonderful, and they're so grateful that someone is taking the dog for a walk.
And I think that's interesting. I've got a couple of friends who, as a business, do dog walking, and it's probably okay for people who can afford that, but there must be a lot of people in the community who are happy to have their dogs walked by volunteers, so it's a great idea.
Well, this way there's absolutely no money changes hands. We're all volunteers, so we don't take any payment for this. And as you say, it is normally older people. I mean, we have a 92-year-old lady with a 6-year-old Kelpie who is very lively, but we take the dog out 3 times a week, and the dogs look forward to it as well, and the owners. And you get to know the owners as well, and maybe do a little bit of help out with the owners as well. But it's entirely up to you what you do.
So you help out with them with what type design? Like, what do you help them with if they need help with anything?
Well, sometimes it's just they can't open a jar of pickles, or they want a battery put in their clock, or it's just up to you what you get involved with. And sometimes we bring them out for lunch, or, because we get very friendly with the owners as well.
That's very nice, but those pickle jars are really hard to open. I'd agree with that very well.
Yeah. It's interesting. So you have a range of dogs, obviously, from the small to the very active, like Kelpie. So if somebody wants to get involved with Poops, Ruthie, how would they go about doing that?
Well, there's a local organiser called Barbara, and there's a website. We have cards on our table, but if you Google Poops WA or Poops Organisation WA, it'll come up with the organisation, and all you have to do is register with them. You only need either a driving licence or working with children check or a police check, and then you'll have an organisation to go out and volunteer with.
Okay, that's really interesting. Huh.
Well, it's been great speaking to you, Ruthie, and thanks for taking the time to come and pop in and tell us about your service. As we know, voluntary organisations, really the heartbeat of the community, and I think you're doing a great job. So thanks very much for spending the time with us.
Yes, indeed. Thank you very much.
Yeah, and if you're interested, please get in touch with Poops.
And we're here today at Lakelands Shopping Centre, and it's actually Volunteers Day. Am I correct?
Yep. Yeah, I think so. I think 16th or 22nd, is Volunteer Week. But yeah, you're spot on the money there.
All right, thank you. We've got a guest here today who's also a volunteer. Did you want to explain a little bit about what your organisation actually does?
Sure. We're the Peel Community Kitchen. We feed roughly 80 people a day. We actually have blessed that the council made us an actual kitchen down near the library on the main road. So we are Monday to Friday, feed roughly 80 people a day, not just the homeless. It's people just in need. People are struggling to put food on the table, so they can come down and have a hot meal, and it's free. So it's all paid by donations. Yeah.
Okay, that's a fantastic thing. Is there any questions did you want to ask her?
I know that I was in the food industry myself for a little while, and I know how hard it is to get. A commercial license and food safety. Was that difficult for you?
Well, we've been doing it for 9 years, and we've actually had the same chef for 9 years. So yeah, we're doing all right in that respect. Yeah.
So is your chef a volunteer as well?
She is actually paid. That's the only paid person, but she's only paid roughly 30 hours a week. Yeah.
It's a very hard gig, isn't it? When I say that, I had a little bit of experience delivering for Meals on Wheels, and there's a lot of vulnerable people out there who need this sort of service.
Absolutely. And the thing is, like I said, it's not just homeless. It is just right now, that with the way things are, it's just lots of different people. Families can come down with their kids, and they can take food home with them too. We don't restrict them to eat there. So a lot of people come down, have a hot meal and take another meal home with them. So they've got another meal for later during the day, and that means their whole day's really been covered by us. We also do an outreach. It's called Hands Up, and we'll take food parcels to families that are in need. Yeah, so on top of that, like, we help a lot of families, elderly people. We've got people we help, maybe one spouse is in hospital, the other one's not coping. Maybe one spouse is in hospital and that costs all their money just to visit and fuel. So how do they eat if they've got to spend all their money just in fuel? So just things like that, we'll take it out to them, and we'll take food. And that's all donated again. We just put out a call and the food just rolls in. It's really good, like all that, cereals, pastas, sauces, tuna, you name it just turns up on our doorstep.
So there must obviously some very caring and kind people in our community down the Peel Way who are more than happy to donate.
Absolutely, absolutely. Like I said, I think we did a call out one day. The next day it was like 50 bags of pasta and 50 sauces turn up. That was by 3 different people, but one lady turned up with 20 on her own. People are just like that. Or they'll literally, we do a call out for food and they'll say, what do you want? I'm going to the shop to get it for you. Yeah.
It's great to, I think, or as I say, it's Volunteer Week, and everybody here, there's a whole lot of volunteer organisations here. And for us people on IPL Radio, also a volunteer organisation, it's great because we get to learn a lot about other volunteer communities like yours, and what a great job they do.
Absolutely, yeah. I know, I've just walked the stretch here and I was like, oh, I didn't know about that. Yeah, that's great, yeah.
So, Kathy, so can you tell us if people want to get involved or donate food, or down that area of the Peel, they want to donate their time, how would they go about that?
So obviously, like I said, we do have an actual premises. It's opposite the library. And we do actually have a few organisations already in town, whether they're like church organisations or others, that will just go into the kitchen. They've met Tracy, they're like the chef, and they'll be like, what do you need us to go get you? Other people just turn up with stuff and she'll then work that into that week's.
So do you have any sort of, social media or something where they can contact you, or do you just...
So on the outreach side where we do the food parcels, Kath Palmer on Facebook does all of that. Anyone locally just knows Kath Palmer. She's been doing it for years. So people will just contact her as well and ask what they can do to help, yeah.
Well, thanks very much for spending time with us, Kathy. It's been great chatting to you. And again, just one of the many great organisations in Peel that is helping the needy people in our community. So thank you very much for your time.
Thank you very much.
And we're back on air on IPL Radio, and we've got Vicky Pollard here from the Peel Volunteer Rescue Centre. Hi, Vicky.
Hello, how are you? And welcome to everyone.
Awesome. So what do you do?
Okay, so I'm the manager of the Peel Volunteer Resource Centre, and we link volunteers into the community to not-for-profit organisations that require volunteers.
Awesome. So have you got a wide range of volunteers going on?
We've got about 250 positions at the moment with 170 different organisations. So we've got lots of roles that you could do. And if you come down to Lakelands today, you'll be able to see our stall, and we've got girls there that can help you and link you up right away.
Awesome. So any other way we can get a hold of you if we don't come down today?
Yep, you can. You can go on our website, which is www.peelvolunteer.org.au. You can check out our Facebook, which is Peel Volunteer Resource Centre, or you can call us on 9581 1187.
Awesome. And volunteering is great for the soul, isn't it?
It is. It's very good for yourself, for your mental health, just your general well-being. It's actually a great way also to start, if you're new into the workplace, it's a great way to get something on your resume, build your skills. And if you're not so young, it's a great way to share your knowledge with others.
Awesome. Thank you very, very much for coming in today.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Hello, and we're back at Lakelands Shopping Centre, and I am with someone here. Joe Martin. Welcome.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
Would you like to tell everyone what you do?
So I'm from People Who Care, and we keep the elderly in their home. So we provide a service. We've been going for about 42 years, and it started off with just neighbourhoods, sort of keeping their neighbours and everything, just doing jobs, gardening, maybe shopping for them, and just helping them out with their home so they could stay in their home and not have to go into care. So People Who Care is a non-profit organisation, and we just have volunteers that actually will garden for the elderly, take them shopping, take them to doctor's appointments, maybe take them out for hair. We do group outings, so we pick clients up from their home, and we might take them out on a group day, so they're out of the house, they're having lunch, they're having, doing activities, and then we drop them all home, so they've got that social aspect as well. We just do transport and lots of different things like that to help them and keep them in their house.
Okay. You sound like having a party there with them.
Yeah. Yeah, we do.
So is there anything that if they need help with like cleaning or anything like that, would you help them with that?
We are bringing in a home care package. So we will start that up in Perth, just starting in the east. So that's just underway of getting that underway. So that will start with just the basic home care, maybe food, prepping food, cooking for the clients, and general cleaning. And then we do have customer service volunteering. So that's when clients actually go to their house and look after them, and that's the higher end. The higher end, they need the Cert 4 qualifications, and they're paid sort of employees. And then we have our volunteers that are just helping our clients with gardening and, social activities or individual activities.
That's really interesting. So how many people does this around, like how many places have you done it, and how many people do it every day?
So we've got 4 sites. We've got a site in Mandurah, a site in Guildford, Malaga, which is a starting over support site, and then we've got a site in Wangara. So we have about 300 volunteers at the moment. We did have 500 prior to COVID. However, we're just building that back up. So.
Okay, that's really interesting. Well, thank you so much for joining in this interview.
No, thanks for having me.
Anyway.
What are you going to say? No, I was just going to say thanks for having me. At least that okay.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll be back after this little mission. Goodbye.
Hello, yeah. Hi, it's Nick here from IPL Radio. We're at the Lakelands Shopping Centre and it's Volunteer Week, and there is a plethora, that's my word for the day, plethora of volunteer stalls here, and we've been lucky enough to get Karen, I'm not going to try and pronounce her surname, but we've got Karen here from Ed Connect. And what's Ed Connect all about?
Ed Connect's a school volunteer program. We've actually been operating for about 25 years in local primary schools and high schools. And today I'm hoping to find some volunteers to go in and either help in the classroom, listen to reading, or mentor a student.
So back in my day, which was a long time ago, they used to have parents used to come in and it would be sort of like listen to children read. So because a lot more people work, is that why your organisation exists?
Yes, absolutely. I think families are a lot busier than they used to be, but students really love having volunteers come into the classroom. They really respond differently. It's not a parent or a teacher telling them what to do. It's that other person that's just there to take an interest in them, and it makes them feel really good and boosts their self-esteem as well.
So do you have a range of ages who do this, Karen?
Yeah, we have volunteers from 18 years old up to people in their 80s or 90s. So anyone is a great person to sort of share their life experience as a volunteer. And it can be a minimum 1 hour a week up to as many hours as you like.
Yeah, I was speaking to somebody from another volunteer organisation before, and they were saying there's a bit of misconception that when you volunteer that you actually are there full-time or full-time part-time, and it's really not like that at all, is it?
No, 1 hour a week actually makes a huge difference. When you add it all up, the difference that all those 1 hours make back to the community is just phenomenal.
And the volunteers, what's the feedback like generally from the volunteers who do this?
It's a total win-win. All my volunteers tell me they think they get more out of it than the students do. The students are happy to see them when they come into the classroom, and it just makes them feel really good.
And do you have a specific age group that the volunteers go to the classrooms at?
It's actually all ages. So I work with primary schools and high schools, so volunteers can choose what age of student they prefer to work with. Sometimes people think that high school students are a bit scary, but one-on-one they're actually amazing. So it's one-on-one time with a student, of any age.
It's, again, there's a lot of volunteer places around here, and for myself, I'm just learning a lot about what happens out there. Ed Connect, it sounds like a really good thing, Karen.
It's fantastic, and I think all our volunteers get lots of support along the way. They're trained in their role, and I'm their backup support person. They're part of my bigger group of volunteers as well as that smaller group within the school, so it's great fun.
And if people would like to get involved further with Ed Connect, I have a card here of Karen's, which you can't see. How would they go about volunteering or finding out more, Karen?
Probably the easiest way is to hop onto our website. If you just Google Ed Connect, that will come up. There's some great videos from our volunteers, and you can actually fill in an application form online there. That will then come through to me, and I can catch up with you one-on-one for an interview.
And I'd assume here they need working with children?
Yeah, there's a few checks we need to do, obviously, to go into a school nowadays, but that's what my job is. I'm here to help with all of that.
Oh, look, that's great, Karen, and thanks very much for spending 5 minutes with IPL Radio. It's been great, and best of luck with Ed Connect. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
How are we going? This is Lakelands. We're in Lakelands Shopping Centre. We're at IPL Radio, and who do we have with us today?
Phil Rance from the Mandurah State Emergency Service. I'm the Deputy Manager there.
Okay. How long have you been volunteering for?
Only 40 years.
Wow, 40 years. That's a pretty big achievement. You want to tell us why you're actually here at the volunteers? Obviously, you are a volunteer. Okay. Why are you actually here today? Sorry.
Yeah, we're running a push to get people interested in communications and operations team, because that is the area that we have the most need for at the moment. We have plenty of people volunteering for the rescue team, which is where all the fun stuff happens, but we need someone behind the scenes to
got a few fans here.
Yeah. But now, personally, I'm the SES Search Commander for our region. I'm also a peer support officer, which is when people have problems with a job and they're having a hard time, they come and see me, and then I will point them in the right direction. I've been teaching map reading since 1988, so 30 plus years. I'm also a driving instructor in 4 different skills. So.
Wow, that's you've definitely done enough years volunteering, and you're very much committed, and I'm sure the community appreciates everything that you do.
Thank you very much. And it's been, I slowed down for a little while, and then I thought, no, something's missing, so I got back into it. Yep.
Thank you very, very much, Phil, and I'll let you continue on with your day, and I appreciate coming down and being on IPL Radio. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Oh, okay, here we go. We're at the Lakelands Shopping Centre Volunteers Week, which goes, I think, from the 17th to 22nd. We've had a lot of interviews throughout the day with a whole lot of different organisations, and we've been lucky enough to get Brianna from the youngster.co. So I'm curious as to what that is.
Yeah, so we're a free service for one-on-one tech support.
One-on-one tech support. So that means my iPad that I bought 13 years ago, you'll be able to help me through that, would you?
I mean, we could definitely give it a go. Yeah.
So what do people mostly come to you with, Brianna?
So usually, it's things just like trying to figure out how to delete an app or uninstall a program, or, add to their contacts, things like that.
So, this is called youngster.com. So is there a lot of youngsters out there who are unsure how to do things on technology?
So it's actually, the program is youngsters or young people helping seniors with tech problems.
Well, that's brilliant. That means I can come and see you, and you can help me with my Commodore 64, which you wouldn't know what a Commodore 64 is, would you?
A car.
Well, it used to be a car, but when I was growing up, Commodore 64 was the computer that you had to have.
Yeah.
So, do you have a common problem that the people, seniors like me, would come to you with?
Not really, because I suppose technology is such like a wide array of things that it can just be anything, really. And can you tell me, did you have any training for this sort of thing? No, I did not. So yeah, the guy that runs it, Tony, he came down because he's actually located over in the eastern states, not in America, in Australia. And he, just came down, gave, I suppose, in-person training, kind of in one of these things. We were at the Senior Expo in November last year, just down in Mandurah. And I suppose he decided I was good at it, so. But that's great, isn't it? So you're a volunteer organisation? Yeah, so we're all volunteers. Some of it's paid work, but mostly it's just volunteer stuff. So if somebody like myself, or a lot of, this is really handy for us seniors out there, I've got to tell you, I just fumble around, I'm just hopeless with it. If somebody wants to find out more, or somebody they're stuck in an app or something like that, they can see you. So how do they get in contact, Brianna? Yeah, so we've just got a website called youngster.co, but we're also just down here at Lakelands Shopping Centre every Tuesday, 10 to 12, just in front of Coles. And you can either book in or just walk in.
And are you a self-funded organisation as well, I suppose?
I'm not sure.
That's okay. That's okay. I mean, how long have you been doing it?
So I've been doing it since November last year, so not that long.
I think it's great. I mean, it's good to see younger people actually wanting to help people in the community, because volunteering is hard, and it's even harder to get people. So I think to see youth like yourself coming through is a really, really great thing.
Yeah, absolutely. And, we've got kids from Coastal Lakes just across the road coming in every Tuesday doing their community services, community service hours with us. So it's great to see, them engaging and stuff.
Well, that's great. It's just another great story from the volunteers here at Lakelands Shopping Centre. Will come down and set up stalls, and as Brianna said, they're here every Tuesday, and what better way to untangle some of the stuff that we have on our phones or our little laptops of that. So thanks very much, Brianna, and best of luck.
Yeah, thank you.
Hi, it's Nick here from IPL Radio, Inspiring Passionate Lives. We're here at the Lakelands Shopping Centre, and we're introducing many of the different organisations that have come down here on Volunteer Week. And at the moment we have Casey from Peel Connect. Got that right. So what's all Peel Connect about, Casey?
Peel Connect is a service that we offer in the Peel region for anyone who's experiencing hardship or homelessness.
And have you found in these tougher economic times that you are getting more and more inquiries?
100%, yes. And we're seeing more people on the streets now, more sleeping rough, a lot more people in their cars, and families are in their cars a whole lot more now at the moment, yeah.
So let's use an example here. You understand somebody's living on the street. So what happens from there?
So we've got mentors that are in our in the office. They can do VI SPDAT forms, which is a zero project to try and help get them on priority listing for government housing. And then we can case manage and kind of go from there. In every situation, it's a little bit different. We then work with local organisations that can help offer support. So say, for instance, if it's mum and children that are on those streets, then we look at how they've gotten there. And if it's through DV or domestic violence, then we can kind of refer them onto the services that are able to help them. So everybody is ever so slightly different, and we try and cater for each individual circumstances that comes our way.
And this is purely volunteer?
Purely volunteer. Yeah, 100% volunteer based.
So I think it's great. Obviously, everybody here who volunteers for different organisations does it to give back to the community, obviously. So what was your inspiration to do something like this, Casey?
My inspiration is just going from my own personal experience, having, been through hardship and on hard times. I've been quite high. I was in the military for quite a long time, and then when I had suffered domestic violence myself, my children and I were then, found without a place or a safe place to be. And so just my own personal experiences then allowed me to kind of step up and see where it is that we can go from there to help people like myself so they don't have to feel the same.
I spoke on my show to a lady who works for Money Mentors who had been through a struggle herself, and now talking to you having been through struggles yourself, do you find that being in that situation gives you more empathy and understanding of people in that situation now?
Yes, 100%. Yeah, it's knowing exactly how they would be feeling. It allows you to approach it in a different way. It allows for you to also go, I know this. This is how we can help you, and this is a pathway forward. And I think if everybody kind of had that ease when we fall on hardship, all of a sudden we probably won't have as many people on the streets and in homelessness if we can kind of beat it before it gets there, if that makes sense.
Oh, it makes complete sense. And I also find that just coming here again, speaking of different organisations, I myself have learned a lot this morning, but it's amazing that I find that not a lot of people know about organisations that you have. And yours is just another one. It's just amazing that you do all this sort of stuff. So what's people's first step? If because I imagine in a lot of cases it's hard for people to come forward through guilt or embarrassment, etc., etc. So what's the best way that they can do that, which makes it a little bit easier for them?
So we've got the office on 2 Leslie Street. They can come on into our office and meet our beautiful, friendly staff. However, we also go out onto the streets and approach everybody that we find out there. So we offer our mentors go out throughout the day, so mornings where we go to most of the places that we could find those that are either sleeping rough or in their cars. And then over night time we go out 3 nights a week where we go and offer food, clothing, basic medical needs. So we're on the street, and then 9 times out of 10 we approach them. So it kind of breaks through that oh my God, you know, the shame. 100%.
Yeah, it's sad because I think again from where I am, there's a lot of people who need help, but the embarrassment and the shame, you know, a lot of people find it difficult.
Oh, 100%. We've also got the counsellors, so we've got donation-based counsellors in our office that can help those that are struggling with that guilt and that shame and put it where it needs to be put and allow them to break through that. We've also got the mentors that offer life coaching that have got lived experience themselves, and sometimes it's not. The stigma of counselling sometimes can be a bit too much. Whereas life coaching, we've got people in there that can just have a chat, that understand and they connect with, and then able to then, you know, put them in the right direction and the right path to connect them with the other services that we have. As you said, it's extremely hard for people to know what organisations are out there. And so Peel Connect, we're looking to now expand to be the hub of the crisis care here in Peel anyway.
Look, it's a really great story, and again, it's just one of many that have come forward today, and it's been great being able to talk to you and find out a little bit more about what you do. So, Casey, as in Casey Chambers? Not really. Thanks very much for your time, Casey. It's been great.
I appreciate it. Thank you so very much. Take care.
Hi, I'm with, it's Nick from IPL Radio, going around the Melly volunteer booths or tables and finding out what's out there in the volunteer world in the Peel and the regions around here. We're at Lakelands at the moment, and this is my little dad joke for the day, so please excuse me. I always thought we'd get around to seeing somebody from Rotary. So that's a dad joke over with. So Mark, please tell us a little bit more, because I at the start thought that you were Rotary, traditionary Rotary, but you're not. Can you tell us what you do?
Okay, we're a satellite club of Rotary, still under the Rotary umbrella, but instead of having meetings and committees and all of those extra things that you have to survive, we don't raise funds to give back to the community. We actually, me talking with my hands, we actually just help out other not-for-profit groups in the community that need extra feet on the ground. We are helping Peel Connect with the homeless, Walk for the Homeless, that's one of the groups. Bridge Builders just up here, we're going to be packing hampers. A lot of other groups, there's a hell of a lot of really nice groups in the community that need extra feet on the ground when they have a project or one-off. We're not there to help them with a treasurer or a president or anything like that. We're here to actually give back to our community. All of our members have been in the traditional Rotary, but we're busy, still working, and we find that part, and then we don't have time to do the volunteer part, which is what we're all about. We're all here with a big heart. We want to give back to the community and help those. So anyone that reaches out, we put it to our members and we say, who wants to be involved in this? And it might be once a month, it might be a one-off, whatever, and you put it, and not all of our group will go to the same spot to help. We might have one there, whatever. It's just people reaching out and we can see if we can help.
So do people reach out, just a question here, do they reach out to an organisation and then they refer them to you?
No, people reach out to us. We've got an active social media page. People reach out to us and we put it out there. Volunteers, anyone need a volunteer? They reach out to us and then I put it to the group because I run the social media page. I'm the chair of the group. So we put it out to the group and say, anyone interested in helping here? And usually there'll be one or two, depends on the day of the week because a lot of people work. Bridge builders, they're saying that they need bacon and egg breakfast they're going to be doing. CWA has a sewing group, they're going to come in and help and volunteer and give us some stuff. It's just a variety of groups, as you see here today, that all need extra feet on the ground for something specific, not a president, a treasurer or those sort of committee people, but they need hands-on to help at a function or a project, whatever.
And what led you into doing this, Mark?
I've been in traditional Rotary for years, and I found that's what it's got a purpose, and it's great. I enjoyed it while I was there, but because I still work, it's having to go to a meeting every week, having to have a dinner, and I've learnt about these groups by having speakers at those traditional Rotary, but then it got to the time where, now we've got to volunteer on top of that, and we don't have the time necessarily. We might have family commitments or we're still employed, whatever, but we still want to give back to our community. So we're very community-minded, we've all got big hearts, and we want to help where we can.
Isn't that great? I mean, and that's the beauty of volunteers, talking to people like yourself, giving back to the community, and it's amazing how many people do give back, isn't it?
Yes, well, look around today. Look at all these tables here. They're all doing a fabulous job in their community, and they all want extra help at some point in there.
And I find it's an inspiration here, like we were speaking to the girls before from Youth Star, I think, and they're obviously a lot younger, and they're giving up their time to help people with technology, which is great. But the amount of people here from different organisations, different backgrounds, it's astounding, really, isn't it?
Actually, when you're talking about Youth Star, I was just talking to a young lady over there where Rotary sponsored her to go to a leadership camp in January for a week. So she's keen to come back and help with us because we helped her.
It's a simple life, really, Mark, sometimes, isn't it? Like, you help people and sometimes it comes back and you learn, as I say, I've been with IPL for just over 2 months, and I'm astounded at the amount of kind and generous people. Not money's one thing, but kind and generous people prepared to give up their time and genuinely help people less fortunate than ourselves.
Yep, that's exactly what we're all about, and every one of these stalls here are doing exactly that, which is fabulous.
So one more, Mark. So I noticed you said you had a social media page. Is that the best way that people get in contact with you?
Yes, it is. There's a contact on there, or else come and see us today. We're down near Kmart.
Alrighty, well, thanks very much, Mark. Again, another enlightening story for me to put in my little memory bank. Thanks for your time, and we'll catch up with you shortly, hopefully.
Thanks for the opportunity.